Welcome to Bernina University. My name is Gina Colbert, and I'm here today with Sugar Bee Quilts. I am a long arm quilter and recently started delving into the world of pattern design. And so I have 6 different patterns that I want to introduce you to today. The first of them, I was asked by Brewer to do a sample collection with the new Tilda Maple Farm collection. And so I want to show you this first set of pillows and give you an idea of things that you could do in your shop with some of my patterns. The first pattern is called Ruffle Pillows, and as you'll note, it shows 2 different varieties of pillows that you can make in one pattern. Alright, so on the Ruffle Pillow, as I showed a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago, there are 2 options. With this pattern, I've also written it where a person can use either traditional quilter's cotton, or if you would like a batik that's shown back here. And the difference basically in the pattern is this: if you're using a batik, you need a little less fabric, and if you're using a quilter's cotton, you might want to consider having a lined strip. So basically, the customer will take a strip of fabric, they're going to run a overlock edge on each side, and then after that they would have it ruffled. And so this strip actually shows what the pieces look like after I've got both of them back together. I have the overlock edges to give that decorative look, and then I've ruffled these on the sewing machine. The other thing to consider is this would look really good with a variegated thread, and then maybe even a woolly nylon thread if you wanted texture. So anyway, I would consider this an introductory serger project and an easy starter project, maybe a good class for your shop. In addition to the Ruffle Pillow pattern, I've developed a collection called the Petal Pop collection. The first part of the collection starts with this template. And probably like most consumers, I really enjoy a template that can be used for multiple purposes. So the first pattern that can be used for this template is the Petal Pop Zinnia Pillow. Then another one that can be used is the Flower Table Runner. So one of the things I like about these projects and all of the Petal Pop projects, they are fat quarter friendly. And so let's talk a little bit about the Petal Pop Zinnia Pillow pattern. If you notice here, this one is done in a scrappy type method. That's generally my personal preference. The one here in the front is Christmas fabric. We have a solid cream color available here today, and then we also have some other really bright. I'm drawn to bright colors, but I know a lot of people like a more subdued pattern, and so something done like this with neutrals and light tones is also very, very effective as far as a decor piece. So if you're talking to your customers about this particular pattern, they would need 12 fat quarters. They're also going to need a half a yard of fabric, some fiber fill. I like to use a wool center. I love the texture of wool. I like the warmness that it gives. Or somebody could use some other type of centerpiece, maybe with felt. I've seen people use buttons. I've seen people cover big buttons. There's all sorts of ideas that you could do to finish out this particular pattern idea. So in addition to the Petal Pop Zinnia Pillow, as already shown, I have the Flower Runner. These 2 pieces are actually made out of Tilda fabric also, and this is one of the Tilda vintage collections called Old Rose. And so I love how these fabrics all work together. If you can imagine this in a living room or maybe even a dining room and enjoying these fabrics in your home. The table runners, all of them are designed in basically the same method where they have a dimensional piece on each end. And then I've left the center portion open so that if you wanted to put a candle or an arrangement or something in the center, you would have room for that as well. The Petal Pop Flower Runner also uses fat quarters. It takes 4 fat quarters to do the petals, and then you're going to need an additional fat quarter for the leaves, and then you need a little bit of yardage to finish out the table runner itself. So the final 3 patterns in the Petal Pop collection are seasonal, and I think that they all would work really nicely together. The first of those is the Petal Pop Christmas Tree. And this pattern, as mentioned earlier, actually comes as a pattern set. It has the pillow and the table runner together. And just like with the flower runner, you have the option of putting 2 trees end to end. Again, blank spaces left for your home decor decorating. In addition to that, we have the Santa, which is listed right here or shown here. And then the Santa also has a table runner attachment in the pattern as well. Just to bring some attention to the artwork that's in the patterns, we do have all of the applique shapes ready to go and printed for the pattern, and so there's no issue with anyone being able to duplicate how the pattern looks in real life. One of my other favorite pieces in the collection is the Petal Pop tree skirt. So I don't know about you, but I really love Christmas, and I wanted to create something that would allow me to use up a lot of fabrics that I had at my home, and then also be able to decorate a tree. And so while this is a little hard for me to display, I will work on trying to get this rounded out here. This is a tree skirt made with lots and lots of petals. I love the texture, and I love how all of these different fabrics work together. So from a perspective of a customer, this is a great project if they really love a collection, or maybe they have been a collector of Christmas fabrics for a really long time. This is a wonderful way for them to use up their collection as well. As a recap of the 3 seasonal Petal Pop patterns, the tree skirt uses a lot of fabric. It uses about 35 fat quarters, and so I'm aware that that's a lot. They can also use yardage. It would be lovely done with the same fabric in each row. So that's an idea for that one. On the Christmas tree pattern, it uses 3 to 5 fat quarters depending on how they want to lay out the different layers of the tree if different fabrics are used. And then the Santa uses 4 fat quarters, and of course all of these have a few little extra pieces of yardage that would be used to finish out the pillows or the table runners. Okay, to wrap things up, I wanted to show you some of the notions that I really like to use when I'm working with my patterns. Of course, the patterns all come with a printed paper of the template shape, but we do have for sale the actual acrylic template, which I find to be the most useful. Simply, if you're showing a customer how to use that, I like having a round rotating cutting mat. I really prefer the 25mm rotary cutting tool to trim and make my shapes. Then after the shapes are sewn together, I clip them. I really find that a scissor that has a serrated edge is really useful for that clipping up to the seam line. Then when I'm turning my petal shape, I really like to have a clover turning tool. And this one by far has been my favorite. I've used lots of different ones, some bamboo, but I really like this plastic one to pull and shape things for the petal shape. That would then get a nice press. I would then pin the petal, so you're going to need some straight pins, and then I would stitch it together for the petal shape. Then other things that I find useful for the patterns I've talked about today is I might need a ruffler foot if you're going to make the ruffle patterns, and then you might also consider my very, very favorite product that Bernina makes actually is the number 87 bias binder attachment, and I actually use it for straight cut binding with wonderful success. But I love this tool to finish out all of my table runners and quilts, and so I do all of those with the machine binding. Thank you so much for your time today. For those of you that stuck through this through the end, I do hope that you will consider purchasing these patterns for your shop and also the acrylic template. I do want to hear from you. I do have a hashtag SugarBeeQuilts, and I also have hashtag Petal Pop Collections. So if you and your customers start making projects, please stay in touch with me and let me know what you do. I would love to see them. Have a great day. Bye.